welcome to our Yoga for Life class. We're going to start in child's pose today. So if you want to start heading that way, if you're watching us on our Facebook, coming to you a little early, the upload was being a little finicky, so we're just going to do a morning live class, so it'll be here for you after work. But as you make your way onto the mat, get rolled out, grab anything that you may want for your practice, a block or a strap, maybe turn on some tunes. Just get yourself settled in, create your space. And put toes near one another, same for the knees. And gently lower down. Take the belly to the thighs as you let the forehead melt toward the mat. You could bring the hands under the forehead with fists or palms, giving the head a place to rest. If you have a block nearby, you could use that as a little resting spot for the head. Lots of options. Keep the arms a little soft here. And let the body grow a little heavier. Settle the hips. Relax the shoulders. Feel the breath in the body. Feel the ribs flaring out, the back lifting with each inhale as the lungs fill. Notice the gentle release that comes with each exhale. Starting to deepen the breath. Nice even inhales and exhales. Allow the mind to focus on the breath. Follow the inhales and the exhales. Mind focused here, not worrying about what came before or what will come next. Allow it to be present with you. We'll take a few more breath rounds here, centering in. Connected to the body and the breath. The head is resting on something. Go ahead and create a little space as you move the block away or extend the arms overhead. Start to walk the hands away a little bit, lengthening the arms. Lift the elbows off the mat. Feel the activation in the shoulders, the length of the sides. On an exhale, walk the hands to the right, creating a lovely stretch through the left side of the body. The hips stay settled. The breath is steady. Keep the belly resting on the thighs as best you can. And when you're ready, walk the hands all the way back through center and off to the left. Balance out that stretch. Scan from hip to fingertip. And gently bring the hands back to center. We'll inhale to rise up, finding a tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. A long spine to start. Keep yourself solid in your foundation as you draw awareness to the back body. Begin to follow the breath as we inhale, lifting the gaze, lowering the belly. Exhale as we round the back. Inhale, lower and lift. Exhale, round. You can continue these cat-cows at your own breath pace. Mindful movement here. If the body would like to take an extra breath round in one shape, feel free. Maybe you hold the arch a little longer, listening to what your body needs. One more full round here before meeting at our neutral spine. Keep the spine long as you step the right toes back. Ball of the foot is in the mat. Press out through the heel. Check in with the calf and the ankle. Set shoulders over wrists and lift the right foot. Core is strong, spine is long. Press out through the right heel. One more breath here. Lower the right knee. Find your center and then step the left toes back. Same thing, long line from hip to heel, starting with the ball of the foot in the mat. A nice stretch for the back of the leg. Set your foundation. Fly the left leg. Dial the toes toward the mat. Try to keep the hips square here. Notice if the heart starts to collapse into the shoulders. If it does, give it a little lift. And on an exhale, lower the left knee down. Reset. We'll gently shift the weight to the right hand as we flip the left fingers. Back of the hand goes into the mat. Fingers are facing the knee. A nice stretch for the wrist and the forearm. You can keep a little bend at the elbow if needed. Not putting too much weight into the left hand. Very mindful here. We'll gently flip the hand over. Maybe give that wrist a spin before reconnecting palm to mat. Find your neutral. Flip the right hand. Keep awareness on the wrist and forearm. Gently unwind. Give the wrist a few spins. Settle that hand down. Our nice neutral tabletop. We'll reach the right toes back. Fly that leg. And then send it across the left leg. Settle the right toes off of the mat on the left side. And then take the gaze over the left shoulder, a nice deep stretch through the right side of the body. Bring the gaze back to center. A little lift of the right foot as we journey it back to its starting place, flying the right leg. And then send it to the right. We'll settle the foot on the mat. So the right leg is nice and long, coming straight out of the hip. We're trying to line up ankle, knee, and hip with our other side. Nice little stretch for the inner thigh. We'll take the right hand forward just a little bit. Lift the left hand out. And then weave it behind the right. Lower to shoulder and cheek. We're taking our threaded needle with a gate pose variation. Keep the right hand in the mat here. Nice support. Bent elbow there. Check in with the shoulders. Feel that nice twist through the ribs. Press into the right hand as you lift off of the left shoulder. Unwind. Bring the left hand back to the mat. Both hands a strong foundation as you lift the right leg slightly, draw it back to center, and then bring the knee to the mat, coming back to your neutral tabletop. Step the left toes back. Fly that leg. Send it across to the right side. Toes will touch down. Gaze goes over the right shoulder. Same little sequence on the opposite side. Awareness is on the left hip, the left ribs. We'll give a little lift of the foot as it journeys to center. And then off to the left. So take a moment here as you get set. Sole of the foot plants on the mat. Try to keep a nice long leg. Check in with the inner thigh. Take the left hand forward a bit. Create space as you draw the right arm out and behind. Weave it as you lower down. Keep the hips high here. Embracing a new shape, an opportunity to really check in with the body. See how it's feeling. A shape both familiar and new, something we don't do as frequently. Use this opportunity to really check in, sit for a moment, see how the body is feeling, how the mind is wandering or connecting. Press into the left hand as you lift off of the right shoulder. Unwind. Bring the hands back to the mat. A base through arms and hands. A little lift of the left leg. We can bring it to center and lower the knee. Hips are over knees. We'll keep them nice and high as we slide the hands away. Melting the heart toward the mat, puppy pose. You can keep the arms active here, maybe even tenting the fingers. You could lower forearms to the mat. You want to feel a nice stretch through the front midline. Some activation through the shoulders and upper back. But if at any point in any of our shapes you feel acute pain, something really pinpointed somewhere, gently back out. Listen to your body. Start to slide the hands in. Come back to our tabletop. We'll take the hands forward, a handprint each. Curl the toes. Take a moment here. Spread the fingers. Feel the mat underneath the hands. Draw strength into the arms. Lift the hips up and back. Down dog, our first down dog of our class. You can invite in movement here or hold in stillness. Trying to keep a flat back. Strong arms. On an inhale, look toward the hands. Exhale as you walk the feet forward, coming to a forward fold. We'll let the head and the shoulders hang heavy. Hands can reach to the earth. You could grab opposite elbows and hang in ragdoll, maybe even inviting in a little sway from side to side. Keep a little bend at the knees for the legs. A little softness there. If you're you're swaying, slow it down, finding stillness as we lower the hips, generous bend at the knees, belly to thighs. Feel that connection to the earth beneath you, and then gently rise up. Coming to standing. Oh, my sinuses. We'll find our Tadasana. Head over heart, shoulders draw away from ears, palms shine forward. Strong and rooted down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice big inhale. We'll meet with hands at top. Maybe you interlace the fingers here. And then we'll gently tick-tock left and right, moving at your own pace. You can press the hips out a little bit from side to side. Keep the gaze forward. Slow it down. Come back to center. Release the hands. Big swan dive all the way back to forward fold. Take a breath. Engage the core as we draw up to half lift. Long spine. Shoulders draw away from the ears, hands to shins or thighs. On your next exhale, fold again. Take a breath. Soften the knees. Gently roll up. We'll leave the left foot forward and take the right back about 2 to 3 feet. Toes mostly forward, feet firmly planted on the mat, drawing energy up. Square the body to the short edge of the mat. You can take hands to hips. You could do airplane arms, or maybe even interlace the fingers behind you. We'll keep a long spine as we gently hinge forward. Only going as far as your body wants. Notice if the hips really go askew here. If they do, gently dial them back in, trying to keep them as square to the front of the mat as you can. The gaze will move with you, probably landing on the earth somewhere in front of the mat. If your legs are feeling really open today, and you can keep that nice flat back and go to 90 or farther. Maybe the gaze moves down to the mat directly beneath you. Each shape a different journey or a different day. We'll take a little bend in that left knee as we lift up. You can release the hands from where they are. We'll give the shoulders a little wiggle. as we swap feet. So right foot's forward, left foot's back. Feet are on skis, a stable base. Draw energy up. Find that place for your arms. This side could be different. Lengthen the spine as you lead with the heart, hinging forward. Mindful of the right leg. Back body is strong. Keep the breath steady. Both feet firmly rooted. Use the exhales to help you release a little tension. Maybe deepening your fold ever so slightly. Back body is strong. Little bend at the right knee as we press it up. Release the arms. Shoulders wiggle. Come back to the front of the mat. Set the feet about hip width distance apart as we prepare for our awkward series, a 3-part balance where both feet are connected to the mat. A nice strength builder. As we balance it out, we'll lift the arms, palms down. Lengthen the spine. Sit the hips back. Most of the weight is in the heels here, but keep the toes connected down. Draw the tailbone down, long spine. Continue to breathe. Checking in with the thighs and the knees. Only sitting back as far as your body wants. We'll press into the heels as we lift up. Keep the arms where they are as you come up onto the balls of the feet. Grip the mat with the toes. Keep the heels high as you sit back and find a bar stool. A lot of strength in our ankles, all of those supporting muscles in our feet and our legs, helping us balance here. Use that drishti in front of you, your non-moving focal point, blocking out anything that's going on around you as you hold the shape for one more breath. Heels stay high as you lift, and then release everything down. We'll turn the toes in toward one another, prepping for the final part of our awkward series. It's a toe stand. So as you lower, if your hips, knees, ankles, feet say, no thank you, I'm good here. Listen to your body and stay there. We'll draw the arms back up, space between shoulders and ears. Arms are nice counterbalance. Keep the spine long as you start to slide down that nice flat wall behind you. Legs are going to come together. Use that strength, pressing them together. And the lower you go, let the heels lift up. Again, only going as far as your body wants today. If you're down in that toe stand, grip the mat with the toes. Feel that foundation through the balls of the feet. Notice the subtle movements in the feet and the ankles and the legs holding you here. from wherever you are. If the heels are lifted, keep them lifted. And we'll all start to rise back up. And then release. Nice work. Let everything go. Can shake out the feet. Maybe wiggle the toes. And meet back at the front of the mat. We'll use a vinyasa to help us journey down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as we forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step it back. Strong plank. Keep the elbows tight to the body. You can lower the knees here if you like. As we move through chaturanga to the belly. Uncurl the toes. Inhale up to your cobra. Exhale as you release. Curl the toes. Press the hips up and back. Down dog. We'll take a few rounds of breath here. Heels reaching toward the earth, though they may not touch it. Again, you can keep a little bend at the knees. Find a little wave through the body, lifting the heels, shifting the hips back to our plank. Take a breath. Lower the right knee. We'll start to shift the weight to the right side, stacking the hips. Left foot can plant on the mat. You could be on the inner edge. Or if you're feeling nice and stable today, you could fly it as we draw the left hand up. So we're opening the heart, maybe playing with that balance, lifting the left foot, pressing out through the heel, long line through the body. Leave the left foot connected to the mat as we gently rotate back to center. So bring the left hand down. We'll bring the left knee back to the mat. Finding a little tabletop for a second. Step the right toes back. Shift the weight to the left side. Gently stack the hips. Scoot the right foot more in line with the left. Strong supporting left arm as we draw the right arm up. And again, you can leave the left foot planted in the mat here. On that inner edge, you could start to play with lifting it. Keep your torso nice and strong. Heart is open, core is engaged. If you're flying that foot, send energy out through the right leg, keeping it strong. Imagine the body lifting, helping you not collapse into the supporting shoulder. We'll take one more breath here. Lower the right foot down, bring the right hand back, square the body. Right foot stays back as we step the left back, high plank. Take a breath. Send the hips up and back. Down dog. Lower the knees. Uncurl the toes, hips to heels, child's pose. Melt the heart down. Soften the arms. Taking a few rounds of breath here. If having the knees near one another is not serving you today, you could take the knees nice and wide to create extra space for the body to melt into. Leave the toes near one another though. Feel the breath in the body. Start to walk the hands in as you lift up. Rotate onto a hip and swing the legs forward. We'll scoot to the center of our mat and lower down. Head and shoulders come to rest. The feet are connected to the mat. Take the arms long at your side, palms down, thumbs touching hips. Take a breath here. See if you can draw the low back down to the mat. Walk the heels in a little closer to the body. Keep the feet about hip width distance. As we prepare for our bridge pose, start to gently lift the hips, coming onto the shoulder shelf. You can wiggle the shoulder blades together a bit here, maybe even walking the hands closer to one another underneath you. Keep the knees in line with the hips. A gentle tuck of the chin. But if you're feeling too much weight in the neck, gently lower down. We want to protect ourselves here. If the hands are touching, move them back to their start, creating space as you gently lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Take your time here. Back body coming to the mat. Resting. We'll take the feet out a bit, wide to the edges of the mat, a little farther away from the body, and then gently windshield wiper the knees, letting them fall softly from side to side. The hips can lift a bit here. A little rotation through the body. And then find stillness. Walk the feet back, hip width distance apart. Leave the left foot planted in the mat as we draw the right knee into the chest. A modified half wind relieving pose. Head and shoulders stay on the mat. Give the knee a little squeeze and then send that heel high. Low back stays on the mat. Draw awareness up the back of the right leg. We'll start to bend at the knee. Cross the right leg over the left. So right ankle is on left thigh, a little figure four. We'll gently press our right hand into the right leg, deepening the stretch ever so slightly. We're not going to move into our full supine pigeon today. Just taking a few rounds of breath here. We'll release our right hand, unwind the right leg, bring it back to the mat, sole of the foot connected as we draw the left knee in. The other half of our modified half wind relieving pose. Notice if you're struggling in the arms. If you are, give them a little wiggle. Let them relax a bit, finding that space between effort and ease. And if that means that the right knee is a little farther away from the belly, that's all right. Draw awareness to the hip as you give the leg a little squeeze and send the heel high. And keep a little bend at the knee. Check in with the back of the left leg. Scan from hip to heel. Bend at the knee. Lowering that foot and then crossing it over. Find that little figure 4 shape on this side. Use the left hand to press the left leg away. And again, if that isn't serving you, you could just let the leg sit there for a moment. Notice if the mind wanders. If it does, draw it back, connecting to the experience of the body and the breath. Start to release the left leg as you unwind. Sole of the foot comes back to the mat. We'll slide the left heel away, lengthening that leg, and let the right knee fall open. The sole of the right foot can connect with the inner left leg, but it doesn't have to. Our nice supine tree. Hands can rest on belly or on the mat, or you could let the right hand grow heavier on the inner right thigh, deepening that stretch ever so slightly. Relax the body a bit. Each exhale taking you deeper. We'll bring the right hand to the outer right thigh as you help that leg up. Slide the left foot in. Draw both knees into the chest, a full body hug for one breath. Release the feet back to the mat. Right heel slides away. Feel the length of that leg. And then let the left leg fall open. Keep the body square to the sky. Opening the left hip a bit more. Relax the glutes and the low back here, creating a safe space for the body. Each exhale taking you a bit deeper, allowing you to create more space. The legs are relaxed. Bring the left hand to the outer thigh, help that leg up. Slide the right heel in, draw both knees to chest, full body hug. You can stay at stillness here. You could rock a little side to side if you like. That might feel really good on the low back. If you're rocking, slow it down. Come back to stillness. Give the legs a little squeeze and release them back to the mat. Slide the left heel and the right away, lengthening the legs, creating space between the feet here. Let the arms be long at your side, palms up. Coming into our Shavasana. If there are any final shapes that your body is asking for, now is a great opportunity to do them. Maybe that's a little legs up the wall or a supine bound angle. Get out any last wiggles or take those shapes. Keep focused on the breath. Feeling it move through the body. Checking in from head to toe. Embracing whatever shape you're taking. And if you're in one of those alternate shapes, begin to make your way to Shavasana. And if legs outstretched and arms at side doesn't speak to you today, you could always take your Shavasana in a supine bound angle, or you could bend one leg or the other. There's no right or wrong way to create rest for your body. Find what speaks to you today. A spot where you can settle in, where you can find relief and feel supported by the mat. As you find your shape, begin to soften the gaze, or maybe even close the eyes. Connect with how the body is feeling as you settle the feet. Relax the legs. Loosen the hips. Release the low back. Soften the arms. Melt the shoulders. Relax the neck. Soften the jaw. Allow the whole body to be still. Growing a little heavier with each exhale. The breath can return to your natural rhythm. Start to quiet the mind as well. Thoughts can continue to pop up, but you do not need to hold on to them or follow them down a path. Recognize as they bubble up and then let them gently release, floating away one by one. You can be a quiet observer, practicing letting each thought go as you invite more stillness into the mind and body. Continual practice. The mind is great at filling the space that we want to clear out. Hold this clear space for yourself as we take a few moments in silence. I'll hold the space and let you know when it's time to come up. okay resting here in Shavasana as long as you like. And if you're ready, maybe gently brush the fingertips with the thumb. Notice that sense of touch. Reconnect with the body as you start to find little movements, wiggling the toes, maybe spinning the wrists. Allow energy to run out through the body into each limb, growing these movements a little larger. And then if you like, you can pull both knees into the chest, taking that full body hug once more, and maybe rest right here. Back body on the mat. Or maybe rotate over to a favorite side, stacking the hips, resting the head on the low arm. A nice posture of rebirth at the end of our practice. And wherever you're at, take a moment to say thank you to your body for all that it has done for you today and all that it does for you every day. Offer its support as you gently lift up. You can start to flutter the eyes a bit, letting light back in as you find that comfortable seated spot that works for your body today. We'll bring hands together at heart center, sealing in our practice. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, and kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our practice today. I hope you liked it. A reminder that next Monday, the 19th, will be either pre-recorded or just streamed live earlier as well. And then we will be back live at our regular time the following week. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.